Oh, whoa, we're already live. Wow, that was wicked fast. What's up, everybody? All right, well, these barely don't need an introduction, but tell me how you got these.
Back in 1985, it was the end of the season. I went with my friend to the store, and they had these. They weren't my size, but my friend bought them a few years ago. I asked him if he still had them, and we were able to work out a trade, and I got it back.
And how much did you trade in value for these?
Well, I traded him a comic book that was about $2,000. So,
whoa, what was that comic book?
Amazing 129.
Amazing Spider-Man 129, first appearance of the Punisher. And, well, I will say I think you made a pretty good trade on that deal. So these are 1985 Air Jordan 1s. I mean, honestly, the most iconic sneaker when it comes to being a sneakerhead. And this contract was really revolutionary at the time. Prior to Jordan getting this deal with Nike, players would get a one lump sum paid up front to be endorsing a brand. And prior to this shoe, Nike was bottom of the barrel in the world of basketball. It was ruled by Converse. And because of the colorway of the shoe, Nike got fined every single game Jordan played because of the percentage of color. Now, condition-wise, they're pretty rough. They're really rough. The soles are totally dry rotted. I mean, if you were to try to wear these, they would completely disintegrate. But there are a couple people that would still wear these, believe it or not. Did you ever wear them?
I didn't know.
My friend did.
I think they're 10 and a halves.
Yeah, I could wear these things. They're 10s. Yes. Because they're really rough, I would say conservatively at auction in today's market, these would be a $3,000 to $5,000 pair of shoes. Easily.
Very nice.
No box. They're really rough, but they're still Jordan 1s.
Yes.
Doesn't get any better in terms of shoes. Thank you. This is the first time I see Jordan 1s on Roadshow here at the table, so I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, you like how I did the size check? I'm like,
yes.
Oh, yeah, I can wear these, no problem. Yeah. Thank you for bringing them in today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So much.
Thank you.
Hi.
What's up?
My name is Melanie, and you are on set with Antiques Roadshow in Urbandale, Iowa. We're here with Travis Landry. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I saw some pretty cool stuff. Started off the day right away at 7:30 in the morning with 50 grand worth of Hot Wheels. So that was absolutely ripping. Extremely rare store display with a chocolate brown 68 Camaro. That one car in the display was a $5,000 difference.
That's awesome. Did you see anything else cool today?
I mean, everything. Oh, hold on. Everything is cool. I love everything. But not necessarily cool doesn't always add up to value.
Yes.
But, yeah, it's been pretty cool. There's always a lot of learning experiences. You know, there's some things I get a crazy piece of equipment. I have no idea what it is. Luckily, I got James and Gary here.
There you go. So we are on set. We're in Urbandale, Iowa at the Living History Farms, and we will be filming appraisals for the next hour or so. So let us know where you want us to go, who you want to see, and we're going to be meeting up with our executive producer, Marsha Bemko, later on this afternoon. And we want your questions. Put them in the chat. We want your questions for our appraisers and for our producers. So let us know. Travis, do you have time for one more?
Absolutely. I'm ready. What do we got?
All right. Let's see what's
get
next.
All right. Do you mind sliding over for me? This little gem we got to keep secret.
Okay. Put that away then.
We're going to put that away. All right. Who do we got? Come on up.
Do you mind if we film this for YouTube live? You don't
right,
mind?
Let's see.
Great, thanks. I'm going to stick this on you right here. Thank you.
This was my husband's.
Oh, wow. This is awesome. So do you know what this is made of?
No, that's one thing we don't
so
know.
this is called Sirocco wood, and this is a wood paste pulp that was invented in Syracuse, New York in the late 1800s. And what it was a way to make wood carvings cheaper. Instead of having to have somebody physically carve the wood, this would be made into a mold and pressed and then painted. As we can tell by the back, Walt Disney Productions, Jiminy Cricket. Age of this figure, this is going to be right around like, say, 1945, 1950. So, oh, you give me the thumbs up. Why is that?
It was my husband's, and that's the only time it could have been, yeah. So his parents took him to the Pinocchio movie in Philadelphia.
No way. And that's honestly where he would have got this from. was it being a movie premium.
Yes.
Now, it has been restored. Unfortunately, he was broken and re-glued.
Oh.
So that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
In his current shape, it's maybe about a $80 to $120 Jiminy Cricket.
I figured 5.
That's okay. So then I can give you if it was mint and never broken, it'd be about a $200 to $300 figure.
Okay.
So, but because he's broken and re-glued, I got to cut that value at a minimum in half, probably a little more. But he's got great paint.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Yeah, this is great.
Great, thank you so much.
What are the odds I had to just talk about Sirocco wood last week with that Superman, and here the next item is a Sirocco wood?
What do you
Jiminy
know? To
Just
find
rock.
out what Travis means by that.
Cricket. Sorry.
So these episodes that we're filming now will be
What do we
airing
have? No,
next
he's just hanging
year.
out for me.
We're filming right now for our
Oh,
season
well-
29. Excuse me, I'm just gonna take
Oh, am
this.
I good?
We're filming right now. Thank you, Travis, for season 29, and these episodes will be airing next year. So anytime between January and May of 2025, you can see that. And so Travis has a cool appraisal that we just shot in Colorado. So you'll have to tune in next year to find that. But let's see over here at Toys and Games to see what we have right now. Hi. Do you mind if we film this for YouTube? YouTube Live? Great. Is this okay? All right, I'm going to give this to you.
Really?
I'm going to hook
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So, tell me again, where did they come from?
They were a gift to my son for Christmas when he was about 5 or 6. He was born in 1965.
Okay.
So they're from about
70s.
70
Sure.
or thereabouts.
Now, you have the styrofoam insert. You have the outer box.
We do not.
Do not have the outer box.
That is
Okay.
very sad.
No,
We do not.
you know, it happens. Clearly, they were played with toys. So,
Yes,
you know, he was a happy young boy, and that's okay.
Yes. Yes.
With regards to evaluation, they're not quite early enough yet. They're not quite old enough
Oh,
yet.
they're not. Okay.
So the earlier Tonka toys can fetch some big money. They're getting into even 5-figure territory for the best of the best. But to get to there, you want to have your original box.
Yes.
You want to have the early examples, and they have to be complete, and really they have to be unplayed with to really command the biggest money.
Okay.
Okay. So this one needs to lay on the shelf for a few more decades, in my opinion. In my opinion, we're going to need a few more decades to let this one air out a bit. But you know, as is, you know, what the market for this right now might be a nostalgia market. Somebody might see this and say, "Hey, I had that as a kid. I love it." But it looks like the type of item I'd expect to see at a yard sale with, you know, like a $10, $15 price tag on it.
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
Oh.
Whole thing. I think so.
That's too bad.
Now another decade, maybe 2, maybe 3.
Okay.
We might see that number start to notch further north, but for the time being, I think that's where we
Tell
are.
my son to save them.
Save them,
He's
lay them
younger.
down, put them away somewhere.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.
So we're done.
All right, so now we're gonna head on over to sports. I'm told we have a cool appraisal coming up. So let us know in the comments who you want to see. If you have questions for appraisers, what tables you want to see. This is a large venue, so if there are any video or audio issues, just let us know in the chat, and we'll fix those immediately. Just right over here. Hi, I hear you have an item for YouTube Live.
We have a very cool item.
Do you mind if we film this for YouTube Live?
Please.
Great. We just have a little something right here.
I'm sure I always do. You can dress
Great,
me up,
great,
but you
great.
can't take me.
Great.
It's all right. All right. What's your name?
Brian.
Brian. Okay. So Brian, you brought in this great Jackie Robinson exhibit card. How'd you get it?
My father got that when he was a young boy back in the 50s. And then it found its way to me.
Ah, so you've had all this time. So what do you know about Jackie Robinson?
Well, the first African-American to play Major League Baseball. He was a great player. And I guess that's about all I really know.
Well,
about
those are the important things.
Right.
Jackie Robinson did indeed break the color line in 47. He played for the Brooklyn Dodgers. He played until 1956. So this is what's called, you notice it's much bigger, and I'm just going to put up Mickey Mantle next to it. You see how it's so much bigger, right? It's like the size of a postcard.
Mm-hmm.
They call this an exhibit card. And these are generally done from 1947 to about 1966. So this one, of course, would be in the late 40s or early 50s. And they were different from tobacco cards or baseball cards that were used to sell the product, tobacco, baseball. You actually bought these out of a vending machine. And they were much larger. They're like 3 by 5 usually. They're the size of a postcard. But they're great because they show, to me, they're very dynamic and they show a lot of action. And of course, they're showing Jackie rounding the bases here, which is what he was best known for.
Right.
You know, he could steal home. He was a great hitter. So value-wise, the way we value cards is we look at the player, the issue, and we look at what the potential grade is going to be. And the grading is done on a scale of 0 to 10. Now, look, we're not professional graders. We don't make our living that way, but we've seen hundreds of thousands of cards. So we're fairly comfortable in giving, a preliminary grade. If you ever wanted to get a set one, you would send it in to one of the grading companies. But I would probably grade this somewhere around a 4 or a 5, at least, and it could possibly be higher. So just looking up what the current sales are for these items, for Jackie Robinson, who's going to be one of the most valuable here, I would put an auction estimate probably $1,000 to $1,500 on the card.
That's great.
So I would say it was a good gift from Dad.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Dad.
Thank you for bringing Jackie to the Roadshow.
Great, thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to take this from you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a great rest of your day. Yes. So we're on YouTube Live right now. So this will be on our YouTube channel later today. All right. So I saw in the chat that somebody asked for jewelry. So we're going to head on over to jewelry. So right now, like I said, we're at Living History Farms in Urbandale, Iowa. We're at a live appraisal event for Antiques Roadshow. So Living History Farms, which educates, connects all people to many stories of the Midwestern rural heritage. So all of these stores and buildings you see right here were in the 1875 town of Walnut Hill. So there are 4 sections within this 500-acre property. So this is just one of the 4 sections. And as you can see, some of these buildings mostly are reproductions, but we have a few buildings that are historic and were brought over to the site, which is farther down there that you can see later this afternoon. So we're going to head over to jewelry. Over here is one of our multi-cam units. As you can see, Lark Mason is filming an appraisal. We have several camera units at Roadshow. We have 2 what we call multi-cam units. As you can see, there's several cameras, and they get sort of some of the higher ticket items or more complex appraisals. And then we have a few other camera units called over the shoulders that get other appraisals. We also have our Snapchat unit, which films, they're right here actually. Let's take a look. This is Adam, and he is producing a snap. And these are those 30-second short appraisals that you see in between the over the shoulder and some of the longer formal appraisals. And this is Kevin Zavian appraising something, probably for jewelry. It looks like it's a bracelet. You can see our crew, they're mobile. This is one of our only mobile crews besides our B-roll crew. So this appraisal will most likely or hopefully be in one of our episodes for Iowa next year when they air for season 29. Whenever you're ready.
Sure, yeah.
What can you tell me about this?
Well, my family and I, my brothers and my mother and dad came to America in 1956.
Okay.
So by 1959, she was very homesick. So we went back to Greece, across the Atlantic over 13 days, nauseous every day.
Oh.
And we ended up in Athens, but we had to travel all the way to Drama, which is up in the north.
Okay.
So after the 6-week trip was over, my mother took whatever money she had left and she went to a jeweler in Athens and she purchased that bracelet. So it was like 1959.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah,
Do
it's
you
got a
wear
lot of. I don't. It's not my style, so it sits in a box. But I just want to know if it was how much it would be worth today.
So scenes of Greece.
Yes, yeah,
right?
a lot of
We
the
have
Acropolis.
The Acropolis.
This is the Saloniki.
The
This is
Parthenon.
who's the ship? Odysseus or something?
Yeah, that's just a Greek ship.
Yeah, but these are actually Parthenon, the Caryatids, the Erechtheion,
Right.
and this I'm not quite sure. The Temple of many
It's like
yeah.
Art History 101.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I like that the sun is in each one as well.
And if you look at this one, there's a tiny Is it in this one? The little tiny Parthenon that's in the background?
Oh yeah,
I mean, they're
exactly.
really, yeah, they
On the
did a
top of
nice
the
job.
hill. Oh, they did
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So turning it over, you can see that it's stamped for 18 karat.
Okay. That tiny little mark?
That tiny
Oh,
mark
boy.
here.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's not uncommon for Greek jewelry to be done in 18 karat or even higher
Okay.
gold assays, as is the sort of the Greek taste for really rich high carat gold.
Yeah.
And I love these scenes of Greece. It's sort of like a grand tour piece of jewelry from Rome.
No kidding. Yeah.
Only it's Greek and it's more modern. Value is probably first and foremost going to be sentimental,
For
based
sure.
on your
Yes.
story.
Yeah. I'm gonna pass it down to my daughter. Yeah.
And I love the family history of it. Outside of that, in a retail setting, it might be worth as much as $1,500.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's good to know.
But I would say write down everything you know about it. And
the
your
story
Greek
goes with the
history,
bracelet.
and-
I agree.
and
Yeah.
I think that that's where that's where the true value is.
I think so too. I agree. Thank you.
It's
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm gonna take this from you. And Catherine, do you have time for one more for YouTube Live?
Yeah, sure.
Great. I think you guys
I think I'm
okay if
supposed to
we can
check off
film for
jewelry.
YouTube Live? Great. So I'm
There you
gonna
go.
have
All
you
done.
set up right here.
Oh, I was just.
Yeah, she's coming here.
Mr. Zabin taking photos.
I don't know what
Yeah, so if you want to
But
put
if
your
you
stuff
hang
right
around,
here, we
he'll
can
be
get
done.
you set up.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put this right here.
Are you guys together?
I have a collection. I don't know if you want to look at all four or just one.
Sure. Let's see what you brought. Ooh.
This is 4 pieces of jewelry that I inherited from my grandmother. I never really wore that one, but I used to
man.
wear the others.
This might be something I want to tape.
Good for you.
Sorry. Or somebody should.
Oh, you want to pitch this?
Yeah, potentially. Sorry. False alarm.
Take this, and I'm gonna take this from you. Okay, great. All right. So, what just happened? So Catherine saw something she really liked, and so how Roadshow, we're gonna head back over to ancient art over here in Asian art, and then we'll make our way back. So what just happened is Catherine saw something that she really liked, and she wanted to pitch it to be on the show. So how that works is, so she sees something, she calls a producer over, a producer from Antiques Roadshow, and a producer will look at the item, talk to Catherine, talk to the guest, and then decide if the guest, the item is good to go on the show. And if it is, then the guest will go and wait in our green room. And once a camera unit is ready, one of the camera units that I showed you earlier, once they're ready, then the guests will come back with their item and they'll film the appraisal with Catherine. So it's very exciting when an appraiser finds something that they want to pitch. So we don't want to film it so that she can film it, save it for broadcast. So I think someone said toys and games before we left. So let's just head on back on over, and then we'll make our way over to folk art, Asian art, and other tables. We have some Barbies over here. Hi, Billy. We're filming for YouTube Live. Do you mind if we film this? Do you mind if we film this for YouTube Live? I love your shirt, by the way. I'm just going to stick this right here.
This one's not really a good example, so I put her back. Billy Barbie, just go over there. Get out. You're not helping me. Okay, so we've determined that she's a little bit heavier, so she's solid. But she's not a 1, 2, or 3 Barbie, because a 1, 2, or 3 will be much paler, almost the color of this case. And you see she also has on her very 1960s required blue eyeshadow.
Yes.
And she's got on her original swimsuit, but they all had the same swimsuit through the 60s.
Okay.
Bubble Cut's the one that came out with a solid red one. So she's a number 4.
Oh, okay. All right.
And again, I said when on the on the rear end, it's going to say 1958 in Roman numerals. But okay, girls, show it. So it says 19. It's a family show. Here's my butt. It says 1958 in Roman numerals. That's the patent date, not the make date.
Okay.
And so, are you going to every year change a whole mold that costs you thousands of dollars to make just because the date has changed?
Right.
Nope, you just keep using it. And then all the dolls stayed the same the first several editions, but then the way they kept using the same body and the same face, but then they switched the hairdo. And so, but this is a number 4.
Okay.
And 4 is your lucky number.
I did. 4 is my lucky number, as a matter of
So,
fact. So
number 4 in this condition would be worth about $500.
all right. Sweet. Thank you so much, Aunt Linda.
Let's put your arms up and go, yay!
We did it!
So with your set, you have just a handful of tagged clothing. The rest is what we call mother made or lovingly made.
Yes.
Some people call it homemade. I call it homemade, but and that's not worth a whole lot. Maybe $20 or $30. The doll cases, everybody in the world has one, maybe twice, so they're worth about $5 to $15. Now there are exceptions, but you have an exceptional doll, you don't have an exceptional case. Sorry.
That's okay.
But she belonged to your aunt?
She did belong to my aunt, yes.
Cool. Yeah. Great.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Woohoo! And vote
for
for Dolly.
Thank you. Yeah. That Barbie looks familiar to me. All right, so we're gonna head on over here to Asian art, ancient art, folk art, furniture. If anybody, so we're going to be walking now, so if there's any audio or video issues, I apologize. This is a large venue. Just let us know in the chat. And once we stop moving at an appraisal table, then the Wi-Fi should connect once again. But just let us know if you're seeing or hearing any issues. So this is the other side of the street of Living History Farms. For those of you just joining, we're in Urbandale, Iowa, and you're on set with Antiques Roadshow for a live appraisal event. So we're heading on over this way. If you have any questions, we're going to meet up with our executive producer, Marsha Bemko, later on today. So let us know if you have any questions for her in the chat. So as you can see, Roadshow. So Roadshow is quite a large operation. We have about 300 people who come to set every day to make the show happen. That includes, we have 70 appraisers who come from all over the country, and they come on their own dime. We don't pay them. They pay their own way here. They generously give us their time and their expertise. We also have around 100 or so volunteers who are local to the state, and then we have our staff and crew. So we have an appraisal right over here. Hello. Hi, do you mind if we film this for YouTube Live? Great. I'll stick this one right here. Give this to you. Great, thank you.
Okay. Welcome to the Roadshow. Well, thanks. This item was my wife's grandparents. They bought it right after they got married in about 1914, 15. And we've kind of inherited it and shipped it around the world with us. And we thought, let's see what it's worth, or where's it from? Or...
Sure. I think it's Japanese, and more than likely an incense burner.
Yes.
And cast in separate pieces.
Yeah.
It's easier and less expensive to cast them in separate pieces, and then put them together. So probably Meiji period, late 19th, early 20th century.
Yeah.
This is a shishi or a fu lion.
Okay.
They're guardian figures. Common to see them as incense burners. And the value probably around $150 to $200.
Oh, really?
Patinated bronze.
Okay.
Pretty object.
Yeah. Very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to take this from you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's see. Ooh, let's see what's going on over here at Ancient Art. Excuse me. No? Is it you just started? Wait, I'm just going to give you this microphone. This is such a cool item.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi.
Oh, what have you brought us today?
Well, it is a wood sculpture that my father purchased in the 1970s from an estate sale.
Okay, that's what you know.
And it is on the bottom. It says Ida Vegas or Vegas.
Okay. Well, what you have here is something from Southeast Asia. It's Indonesian, you know, and it looks like it's either Bali or Javanese based on the style. Beautiful attenuated form of a female. They do a lot of dancing there in their rituals. But it's a vintage piece. I'd say it's from the 60s or 70s. Beautiful exotic wood, beautiful form. The only issue is it somehow had a little bit of damage in its life.
Oh.
Yeah, sadly. So I think in today's market we could see it at around $50 or $75.
I see.
Yeah.
Is it? Is this like a religious, spiritual thing?
You know, a lot of their Hindu beliefs, they do a lot of dancing and ceremonies. So it's harking to that, but it's it's just a decorative item.
And
like
the
this
dog-
headdress she's wearing is maybe from a certain.
The dog is
Oh,
not have any meaning particularly for it.
No, not that I'm aware. Not that I'm aware.
Okay.
It may though. It may though. And
Okay.
maybe some more research could be done, knowing that there's an artist signature. We could see.
Yeah, I couldn't find any. But
Yeah. They have Wayab dances, and they have other dances that they do as part of their ceremonies there. Yeah. Thanks for bringing it.
Hey, thank you so much.
Appreciate you. That was great. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thank
Have a great
you.
rest of your day. All right, I hear we have a piece of furniture over here. Oops, excuse us. Let's head over this way for some furniture. I think, let's see, oh, John Nye. This one? Hi. Hi, are you all right if we film this for YouTube?
Yes.
Great. Will it be you? Is this your item?
Yes.
Okay, great. Stick this on you. I don't want to step on this lovely bowl. Right here.
Thank you.
Okay.
There's not a drawer on the other side,
No,
right?
there's just one
Okay.
drawer on the side.
Great, so whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay. Well, this table was made by my grandfather, who emigrated to the United States from Sicily. He learned his craft as a master cabinet maker in Sicily. And there's a picture of him, and this is the town he came from, Rometta, in Sicily. And when I was maybe 7 or 8 years old, he took me down to his workshop and said, uncovered a corner and said, "This is for you." And being 7 or 8 years old, except for maybe you or the Kino brothers, would be interested in that. And it's followed me around. My parents took care of it. And my grandfather, his career here in the States was working for Steinway and making cabinetry for Steinway.
Piano cabinets.
Yeah, in Astoria, New York.
In Queens. Nice.
Yeah. So
You were not particularly impressed or excited to learn this was coming your way.
not when I was 7 years old, but afterwards. And my parents took care of it until we had a home where we could accommodate it.
And between the time that you were told at 7 and the time that you inherited it, had you remembered this was coming your way, or was it a surprise when it
No,
finally?
I knew he had said it was for me.
I know,
when-
but you were
so-
7 and you weren't impressed, so you
yeah.
might have forgotten it.
No, I
Put
didn't
it out of
forget
your memory.
it. I didn't forget it.
Okay.
So he made some other beautiful things too. We have a whole suite of his furniture, a bedroom furniture that he made. He made a wonderful, huge bookshelf, a bookcase that comes apart to move. It was wonderful.
Did he make this in after hours
Yes,
work
yeah.
at the Steinway factory, or was this
No.
at a shop he had at home?
His home shop.
Okay. Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
how would you describe it besides my grandfather's table?
Well, it's a chess table.
Games table?
Games table.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it does have a hinge where it's supposed to tilt, but the top is heavy to support it being tilted up.
Okay.
So we just keep it this way.
Nice. So if I had to catalog it for an auction sale, I would describe it as a neoclassical style parquetry inlaid games table.
Mm-hmm.
The parquetry is the geometric
Right.
inlay, and the
and the organic inlay, or these rondelles on the corners that show shields.
Mhm,
And
it's
did
on
I
the
see an
base,
eagle
too.
someplace? Oh, that lily of the valley inlay on the standard. That would be
Oh, yeah.
marquetry inlay. So you've got a parquetry and marquetry games table, tilt top games table, and it's in the neoclassical style. So when this was first coming out as being fashionable, it would have been around 1790s to 1820. But your grandfather, as you know, made it considerably later than that. So
Right.
that's why we refer to it as style, neoclassical style, or federal style, if you want to ascribe an American association or American origin to it. I think you're right about the top probably being too heavy, because the stance of the base is pretty tight,
Right.
from what I can see here. But it really shows well in this position. So there's no harm, no foul leaving it in the down position. And then the drawer, of course, is for the game pieces, right?
Right. Right.
So there's no price I could tell you that would get you to part with the table, I'm sure. And therefore, you probably don't want to know what it's worth, right?
Well, insurance. For
Insurance. Well, this isn't even viable for an insurance
okay.
evaluation.
Okay.
But I'm pulling your leg a little bit. If it was an 1800 era table, well, you're chuckling as though it's going to be a valuable number, a big number. It's not anymore. Traditional, what I refer to with air quotes as traditional antiques, traditional furniture, is in a trough right now as far as market demand is concerned. So it might be about, if it was a neoclassical table, it's probably about $1,000.
Oh, okay.
Being neoclassical style, meaning in the manner of an earlier period, I think I would say that it's less. If it had to get sold at auction, you're probably looking at maybe $300 to $500 for the utility of the object. However, it's a family heirloom given to you at age 7.
Yes.
So I could have said $7 million, and you'd probably go, "Oh, that's nice. I'm going to put it back in my living room." Doesn't matter.
All right.
Great. Thank you so
thank you.
much.
I have a vocabulary question for you because
This
Bingo.
is on YouTube Live, so it's on our YouTube channel, Antiques Roadshow YouTube channel. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. All right, so we're going to be making our way back over to collectibles area, sports, dolls, and then we're going to make our way over to jewelry. We're going to pass jewelry and watches, and then we will pass pottery and silver, and then end near musical instruments, prints and posters, photographs, books, and manuscripts. So please let us know what you'd like to see, and we will make sure that we make a stop over there. So for those of you just joining, we are live at Antiques Roadshow. We are in the Urbandale, Iowa at the Living History Farms. This is our 4th production stop on our season 29 tour. Next week, we'll be going to Baltimore for our final stop of the season. And these episodes, everything that we're filming today, so each production day that we film at Roadshow, we make 3 city-based episodes of. So we have our 15 city-based episodes for the 5 cities that we go to. And that makes up part of our season. And then we have vintage episodes, which we get updated values on, current updated values for appraisals that have aired over 10 years ago. And then we have a few special episodes. So right here, we're heading back to jewelry and watches, and we see there's a few more. Does anybody have any requests in the chat? Photos. Okay, let's make our way over towards photos. So you might be wondering, how do I get a ticket for Antiques Roadshow? It's a very good question. So every year, at the beginning of the year in January, we post our tour schedule for our upcoming tour, where we're going to next. Let's see. Let's stop at Deck Arts and Silver before we head over to photographs. So we post our schedule in January, and we have an open, free lottery for folks to submit their name and their email. And then in March, we have a free drawing where we invite 2,000 winners per city. We give away 2 pairs of tickets, so that's 4,000 tickets in total, and then you can come to one of our 5 cities that you submitted for. So all the tickets to Roadshow are free. We also have a second opportunity to win tickets for Roadshow. It's called our Early Bird Tickets Contest. If you know what you want to bring to Roadshow during that open lottery submission time, you can submit your item, and our producers and our appraisers will look through your item, and if they think it's worthy for our show, they'll invite you that way. So let's see what we have going on over here.
It just shows, I think, the continuation.
Hi.
From ancient times to now.
If you started this, is this appraisal midway through, early on? All right, that's okay. Let's see what's over here. Let's see. Do you mind if we film? Hey, Jason. Do you mind if we film your next appraisal for YouTube?
Well, let's see what it is.
All right, let's see.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Have you seen anything good?
I have. I filmed a really great piece already. So,
Nice.
Yeah, it's a nice thing this morning.
Yeah, great. Well, great to see. All right. Are you all set? You can make your way over. Do you mind if we film this for YouTube? Sure. This looks cute. I'm just gonna put this on you.
It's just a little trinket box that has been around, and I don't really know anything about it, and needed something to bring to the roadshow on short notice.
Okay. So how'd you come to own it?
It was left somewhere that I had lived a while ago, and it came into my possession, and it's been sitting on a shelf.
Okay. So what would you like to find out today about it?
Just what it is, where it came from. I'm not really sure what it's used for. I also had, and I didn't bring it, but it was an interesting looking like key thing almost, but not really. I don't know, but they were together, so I wasn't sure. I wish I would have brought it, but
Well, it doesn't look like this requires a key. So I
well,
don't know
no,
if that
I
would
don't
have
think the
anything to do
key came
but-
with it, but
You know, so what it was used for, let's start there. It's just a trinket box. So kind of like a really small jewelry box. You would hold 1 or 2 pieces of jewelry. So we generally refer to those as trinket boxes when we see them like that. And then what is it made out of? Well, metal. It's trying to look like silver, but it's not.
Is
It's
it
silver
pewter?
plated.
Okay.
Yeah, just silver plated, and it's kind of in this Renaissance style with these different scenes from kind of, you know, earlier European times, right?
Yes.
And it was pretty inexpensive when it was new. So this was made to be very affordable to the masses.
Yes.
And as such, then today it's still kind of just pretty affordable. It doesn't have a lot of standalone value as a collectible. So if I saw this in like a local antique store, maybe in like $10, $15 range.
Right. Okay. Yep. That's all I
And
expected.
it's from the mid 20th century. It's not that old. So
Right,
it's probably, you
so,
know, what is that, 70 years ago now or
something like that. Yes, and that's perfect because it holds my cat pin that is like Art
So it holds
Deco.
a trinket.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
Can I
you.
see your ticket thing?
Thank you so much. I'm gonna grab that from you.
Thank you so much.
Nick your hair. I'm gonna take this from you,
Thank
Jason.
you very
Thank you
much.
so much. That was great. All right. Ooh. Is this? Do you want to film this for YouTube Live? Is it the pot? It's a lot of stuff. Okay. See you over here. Hi. Sebastian, do you mind if we film this for YouTube Live? You just started? All right. Do you mind if we film this for YouTube Live? Excuse me, do you mind if we film this? Oh, is this yours? All right, we have a switcheroo here. Do you mind if we film this for YouTube? Okay, great. I'm just pictures. All right, Sebastian, maybe you could just tell us a little bit about what this is and how much it was.
Sure. So these are 2 American-made pictures from around the 1920s or 30s, and they are essentially colored foil images enhanced with reverse painting, both available for purchase in a department store like a Marshall Fields, a Sears and Roebuck, and I put a value of around about $30 to $50 on each one.
Great. Thank you. They're beautiful.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Perfect. All right, so we're gonna head over this way to paintings. I hear we have something paintings. We also are gonna stop at, or we're gonna pass glass and pottery and porcelain. If anybody wants to see any items from there, David Rago and Arlie Sulka are there. Let us know. And again, if you have any questions for our appraisers, they want to know your questions, as well as for our producers. So again, later on, we'll be catching up with our executive producer, Marsha Bemko, and she wants all of your questions. So let's see what's going on over at Glass. Hi, Arlie. Hi. Are you good? How are you? Are you just starting this?
Yes.
Are you gonna pitch it?
Can I
Yeah, sure. Me? Oh, okay. Okay, so we're not gonna do that. All right, that's okay. We're gonna head over this way. All right, so we're gonna skip over Arlie. Let's see if David Rago has something over here. Hi. Oh, they're filming. So as you can see, there's a snapshot being filmed over there. So this appraisal will once again probably be on one of our episodes next year. So while David wraps up, let's see what we have coming up next. Do you mind if we film your next appraisal for YouTube Live?
Hopefully it's worthy of the effort.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
Are you next? Please, come on.
Do you mind if we film your appraisal for YouTube? Great. Thank you.
So, I got this at an estate sale and it has numbers on the back.
You tell me when you're ready, and I'll answer all your questions.
Oh, okay.
As best as I can. Otherwise, I'll get a second opinion.
Okay.
No, I'll put pedophile cookies again.
I know the painting is
Just
called
handle
a
it.
foundling.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah.
So what happens when something's not marked? We make a lot of educated guesses.
Okay.
I mean, there's certain things I can tell you for sure about this.
Okay.
And other things I can get in the ballpark. So first of all, it's beautiful German porcelain, 19th century hand-painted plaque. And one of the ways you know it's German, first of all, they did a lot of this sort of thing. More than anybody else, the Germans were painting porcelain plaques as though they were paintings. Okay. Number two, you see this mark here? That's
Yes.
a German number.
Oh.
That sort of numbering system was employed by the Germans at that time. And finally, the quality of the porcelain is German. It's very nice. They had the Germans they discovered porcelain in the West by accident in the early 18th century. It's a great story. And so they had a bit of a head start on everybody. This is a hand-painted piece. Interesting subject matter, something you don't really see very often. I don't see an artist signature on the front.
Well, I looked it up. I found it.
You found it? Where do you see the signature?
No, there's no signature. I found the name of the painting.
Oh, okay.
Or the
So,
artist, but it was called the Foundling.
okay.
But
I can live with that.
this is not what I originally had. They say orphan child, but that was the name of the artist.
Okay, so this was taken from a real painting.
That's
Okay.
Yeah.
So not likely the same artist painted both.
Right.
But yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh. And does the original one have that line above her head, or is that
No.
something that occurred?
I think that was there. It was a flaw, but I still
Okay.
loved it.
So I don't know the company that made it. I don't know the artist who painted it. There seems to be a flaw in the surface of it.
Yeah.
So that all has some impact on the value, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Not a surprise, I'm sure. But a really, I think, a good subject matter. And I would still value the piece $300 to $500 at auction. I'd still put it in that ballpark.
Okay.
All right.
That's
very nice.
good.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you. Back from you. Thank you so much, David. All right, we have something very cool over here with Meredith Muley. Hello. We're back. Are you ready? Do you mind if we film this for YouTube? Great. This is such a cool thing. Thank you so much. Yep. Whenever you're ready.
All right.
Okay,
So tell me what you brought today.
Yes. So I have a lamp.
Yeah.
My grandpa served in Vietnam, and then upon returning stateside, they were stationed at Fort Benning in Georgia.
Okay.
Where he bought this. They hung it in their home when they lived there. And then when he got sick, they moved back home to Minnesota and Marshall. And then it hung in my grandparents' home there until my mom got it.
Right.
And then my mom gave it to me. So
Awesome.
I don't know much about it. He made it. The inside's fiberglass. I'm not sure if the outside is as well, or if it's...
So it's lucite. So it's different colored lucite, and it's that mid-century modern, lovely spaghetti ribbon flavors. We have no idea who made it, but it's something that there are a couple of different pieces out there just randomly there. So they were being produced at some time at somewhere. It's just going to take us a little bit more research to nail down exactly what this is. But I love that it's got the chrome top to it. It's got the wire through the chain link thing. Totally mid-century modern. My parents had that kind of hanging lamp in their house as well, which is great. And I bet it's beautiful when it's lit.
Yes, I have a picture of it.
Yeah, show me.
Lit up.
Oh, yeah, beautiful. That's great. So with the yellows and the reds and the brights and the blues and the great coloration with this, I think this would sell at auction today between $150 to $250.
Okay. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Thank you so much. I love it. I would totally hang this in my house.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, we have something over here that looks pretty cool with Eric Silver, one of our sculpture appraisers. And then we will make our way inside into this building right here, this barn, I should say. And that is where prints and posters and musical instruments are. So let's step over here. Hi, do you mind if we film this for YouTube Live? Sure. Great. Will you be speaking? All right. Eric, hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you? I'm gonna get this to
Where
you.
was the one you did before? Where do I find it?
Me?
Where do you find the video? Is it on YouTube?
Yes, it's on YouTube. We're filming a new one right now, so you'll find this later.
I want to find the
on
last.
Roadshow.
I want to find the last one. So
I'll show you later.
so I have an art database, and I can't get out of it.
Why don't you take your hand off?
Hold on. Geez.
Where did you guys get this?
My husband bought it for me for my birthday.
How long ago?
About 30 years ago.
35, maybe. A lot.
Do you remember how much you paid for it?
$500.
Wow. It's beautiful. Where do you guys have it hanging up?
She sits on our mantle.
Yeah? Do you have other pieces just like this?
No, this is the only one we have, and I've tried to find other pieces like her. And
Yeah. Well, on this art database, here's some other works by her,
Right.
so you can see. And it's really the epitome of Art Deco. I mean,
Right.
This is Art Deco, and this is exactly Art Deco, and it's beautifully done. I mean, it's very typical of a kind of thing. It's Art Deco period. It probably had a marble base. That's what this is. So it sat on a marble base, just like these other ones.
Right.
You can see it there, and it is signed. The issue with it is that the finish, the patina, has been taken off completely. So when we looked on the back here, you see on this drapery.
Right.
You see here. So it had different colors. Here, you see, it was dark brown, and this would have been gold. So again, so the patina is missing, and then the other thing is, you see all these little dots here.
Right.
You know what that is?
No clue.
So when they cast these things and they pour the metal into the mold, sometimes the metal doesn't go into all the parts of the mold. So these are voids. And what they do is they have bronze screws, and they screw this in, polish it off, and then all of these little things would have been covered by a patina, probably a gold patina.
Okay.
So that's what all these spots are. So now they're quite noticeable. But when the work was originally done, you wouldn't have seen it because it would have been covered by the patina. So it's nicely done. I mean, he seems to have a track record at auction.
Most of the ones that I've seen like this are a lot smaller than this.
That's right. I mean, this is real. This is a giant economy size, so it is nice. I think you might think about getting a piece of marble or wooden base so that it really,
Sure.
so it really sits up straight. But it's really well done. It's just a wonderful expression to it. And the pose is wonderful.
Yeah, our mantle, it sits up perfectly straight.
Yeah, I hope it won't fall off.
No, she's well. I mean, no.
So again, the condition is a major issue, and also the fact that the Art Deco period is not as popular among collectors as it had been.
Right.
Again, you bought it, you like it, but in terms of marketing, people are just not buying Art Deco and Art Nouveau. All the new young collectors are buying this mid-century modern stuff. I mean, that's the style. That's the style for younger collectors. And people who bought this Art Deco just are not around anymore. So it's unfortunate because the work is what it is, and it's really wonderful. It's high quality, beautifully cast, beautifully finished. I would say, a retail price for this would probably be in the $1,500 to $2,500 range.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm going to grab this from you. All right.
All right.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. All right. Look at this painting over here. It is beautiful. It looks like the appraisal is just ending, but Sarah, if you want to show the... See if we can jump in. David, do you mind if we film the end of this appraisal for YouTube?
I was just going to say, I was wondering whether this should actually go to a different appraisal table.
Oh, a different appraisal table. Okay. Folk art. Okay. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. That's all right. All right. All right, so we're going to head over to the barn, and this is where historically when we've been testing that we lose some audio. So if it's a little glitchy, we apologize, but it should jump right back in once we get into the barn. So what David was talking about is when guests come to Roadshow, what happens is they come. So those 2,000 pairs of tickets that we give out for each city that I mentioned before, you get a time slot. And so that is how we can control the traffic that comes in. And so say your time slot is for noon, you come at noon, you stand in line, and you go to triage. And what we do at triage is an appraiser will look at your item and say, painting, this should go to painting, or in that case, folk art, it should go to folk art. Books, obviously books and manuscripts. And from there, you go to the appraisal tables, which is where we have been meeting the appraisers, and then you get your item appraised. But sometimes what happens is an appraiser feels that a different category or a different appraiser is better suited to provide the guest with information. So sometimes that happens is you'll get to one table and you're better suited to go to the next. So that is what was happening over there. All right, so this is the Flynn barn. This barn, and actually, Sarah, if you want to show that mansion over there behind. So that is the Flynn mansion, and it opened in it was built in 1870, and behind us, the Flynn barn, which we're about to go into, was built in 1871, and these are both on the National Historic Register. So these are both historic sites, which is very cool. So we're gonna head on in. Again, let us know in the comments if the audio or the Wi-Fi is getting a little wonky, and we'll adjust. Excuse us, please. Excuse me. We're just making our way in. So you can see there's a long line. Let's see what this line's for. Excuse us. Oh, prints and posters. Okay. Over here we have Nico Lowry in one of his famous plaid suits. Let's jump right in. Hi, Nico. How are you?
I'm doing good, Mel. How's it going?
Good. Have you just started this appraisal or midway
just
through?
wrapping it up.
Just wrapping it up. Do you mind if we catch the tail end of it?
Oh, the tail end? It's like,
Yeah.
almost like there's an animal. So when you say tail end, do you mean like the rabbit's tail end?
Exactly.
Or the
Do you mind
goat's
if we
tail
film
end?
this for YouTube Live? All right, great. I'm just gonna.
I'm just very hot.
Oh, I am too. We all are. So
Okay,
don't worry.
good.
Nico, I'm just on you, and then we'll get another appraisal.
So there's a lot of tail ends here.
Mm-hmm.
But
Even though there's like numbered on here and it's numbered in the book, these are definitely tied to the book.
correct, but we still don't know who the artist is for the book.
Although he patented the pictures.
Well, you have a patent that has nothing to do with this, right? The book is Italian, the patent is British. So where's the connection?
Right, I understand that.
So for our people watching, you have a lovely collection of material that came from a yard sale, a garage sale.
Garage sale.
And the moral may be that just because something is all together in an album doesn't mean it's necessarily all connected. And those are the pieces we're trying to connect right here. With some difficulty, I might add, because it's not linear. But basically, we have a beautiful book of origami, children's how to make toys. All right. So if you were a child in Italy, actually it's in English, so it's an English market. You could cut these out and make toys, which are beautiful. And then we have some of the original drawings for the pieces in the book by an unknown artist, potentially. But we also have a patent that has the word toy on it. So it's easy to think that maybe the patent has to do with the book of toys, except there's no particular connection in my mind. How much did you pay for it all?
I had a big bin of paper. I paid $60 for the whole bin.
Yeah, I think this is charming, but without knowing more about the connections that I won't make just because you want them to be so.
Oh no, I know.
I will stick with as they said on TV, just the facts, ma'am. I think these are lovely drawings. It's worth a lot more than $60 in my mind, but not a whole lot more than probably $300 or $400.
Okay.
And if we connect more of the dots, that price could go up. I don't think under any circumstances of any connected dots, it would be worth $2,000.
Okay.
I think that's the top end, but definitely a few $100 more is always possible.
Very good.
And certainly beautiful to look at. I mean, look at those animals. Look at those animals. They're great animals. Particularly these animals are dogs. They're great
Yes,
dogs.
they're all dogs. There's few camels and some pelicans, but they're mostly dogs.
Really great. All right. Let's put those back in. I'm going to let you put those back into a sleeve.
Thank you so much.
You're very
for
welcome.
Your help. You've been
and we're going to give you a card for toys. I know you want that.
Maybe he knows of some magic toy patent that
Yeah.
Laskowski did.
Good luck. you keep fishing.
Yeah,
You keep fishing. You'll
I
find
really
something.
thought it, but I've had it for a long time.
No, it's good. It's lovely to see.
Thank
And-
you.
So much. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank
Nicole, we
you.
have one more
Okay,
for
good. I'm
you.
going to give you that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Oh, no, that was me. Never mind. I found this
thank
one.
you.
Okay. No, I didn't.
Great.
Hello. How are you? You've been so patient. Thank you for
thank
waiting.
you. So I have a little print.
You have a man with a mustache. Why would I like that?
I don't know why I liked it either, but I bought it because my last name is Sindelar.
Nice.
So my paternal grandfather's name is Sindelar, but my maternal grandfather's name was Charles.
Oh,
so
how
when
sweet.
I found it in an antique store, I thought I needed to buy it, and I don't know much about it at all.
Is Sindelar a Czech name?
Yes. Czech Bohemian.
That Bohemian and Czech works for me. I'm also of Bohemian heritage,
Okay.
which is how I recognized it. How much did you pay for this?
Probably $12. And I bought it in the late 90s.
I imagine it's something religious. He looks saintly.
Yep.
But I don't know what that is there.
I don't know the language either.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to go with Charles Sindelar.
Okay. I have done a Google search and I thought it was Saint Germain.
Could be. Certainly Sindelar did something that looks like Saint Germain. Hairy and mustachioed.
Just like you. You have a lovely mustache.
Thank you. An American illustrator and painter who later in life focused on religious art. Seems like his most famous one was, what's his name? The big guy, Jesus.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, Saint Germain. Look at that. There he is.
Okay.
Saint Germain. $8. To be fair, I think that's for a reproduction.
Okay.
Saint Germain and the Aquarian Age. He was very pretty. It is definitely Saint Germain. So we see that it's hand signed by Sindelar.
Yes.
It's not numbered, right? Normally an artist would sign and number something. And when
Okay.
you see something that's not numbered, the implication is they printed so many, they didn't bother numbering.
They didn't. Okay.
And given that it is religious, it was probably printed in great numbers.
Sure.
And if it was fine art, he would have said 1 of 10. They would have been proud. They made 10 of these. But
Right.
without a number, we're like, uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not really sure, forgive me, anybody who adheres to Saint Germain-ness. I don't know who Saint Germain was, so I'm not sure how big a following he has.
Sure.
So I'm not sure if it was
Me neither.
thousands or tens of thousands. I do also notice when I look at this, how the colors are a little washed out. Do you see that? Like, I don't know what
do,
colors
yep.
it was supposed to be, but there's this sort of yellow tint to the whole thing, and that bespeaks fading. to
Sure.
me.
Okay.
So I think the color is faded. So you have a lovely mass-produced religious print that's a little faded. I would say without the very curious coincidences to your name and your grandfather's name, there would be scant value to the image itself.
Sure.
Probably in like the $5 to $10 range.
Okay.
But
So I got
given
my
that-
money's worth.
You got your money's worth, but given its connection to your family, priceless.
Yes. Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome so much. Very
Nice to meet
see
you.
Nice
Yeah,
to meet
thank
you
you
too.
so
Thanks.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, how you doing today, Nico?
This is, I couldn't be more temperate. It's cool in here. The breeze
very
is
cool
blowing. It's not too hot. It's terrible. I mean, it's awful. It's sweat hot. It's going great.
Great.
It's actually, so seen better stuff today than any other city I've ever been to.
Wow,
That's the
good.
truth.
Yeah, your line is literally out the barn
Well,
door.
long lines are nothing new,
You're gonna
but
be-
it's,
yeah.
it's not the quantity, it's the quality.
quality.
The quality has been like impressively good for the poster table today.
Great. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
One last thing. Do you have any comments about your suit? Anything you want
This
the
is my
fans to
Iowa
know?
corn cob suit. Are you kidding?
Corn
Green
cobs.
and yellow. It's like corn, green on the outside, yellow on the inside. That's all I
Perfect.
gotta say. Yum.
It's
Also,
yeah,
it's a
giving Iowa.
broadcast premiere. Never before seen on TV.
Oh wow.
So to be fair, I chose it for that reason, and then realized it was very corn cobby when I got here. So I put the pieces
So
together.
YouTube Live, this is the first time you're seeing the suit on Nico. So enjoy it, everybody.
Oh, thanks,
for
guys.
your eyes first.
Thank
All
you for
right.
doing the up and down there. Get my feet. I have eyes. Look up here.
All right, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, Nico. Okay, so we have musical instruments. Someone who's asking for musical instruments. It's been kind of quiet over there, but we found somebody to come over and see us. So heading on over. Hello, thank you so much for waiting. Do you mind if we film this for YouTube? Great, thank you so much. I'm gonna sign you. Thank you. And I'm gonna put this microphone on you. Thank you. Thank you. Whew. So you can start whenever you're ready and just pretend we're not here.
Okay, so this is 1916,
It is 1916.
and you said there were 3 in the family or 2?
There were at least 2. There might have been a third one that was between my mother and this brother. This is Kale was the oldest. This is
Okay.
his. And then
Got
I
it.
think the other one, but we didn't know that for sure. My mother would have known. And
Right.
then this was Kale's, the first one that was bought. And you
Right.
saw from my mother's what year. What you didn't look up that year, did you, for my mother?
I can't.
No.
It's just a second. But this is one of the fancier A style.
Oh,
the
really?
A style or teardrop shape.
Uh-huh.
There's an F style that came out later in the 20s.
Hmm.
So this is really the only style mandolin in 1916.
I see. So that was an A
But this is
style.
one of the better ones. There's an A5 is the only one above this.
Hmm. This is an A4.
It's just like the second best
Oh,
of all the mandolins by from Gibson in 1916. Really good shape.
That's what I mean. I have to think he never played it much. but
No,
he
if they
took
did,
care
they
of it.
took really good care of it.
Right. My mother played hers so much, and then it got in a car accident.
Somebody played it a little, some fingernail damage, and the
Oh.
frets are a little bit flat there. But
Well, and of course this.
they
string
took
is
care of it,
broken.
and now you have a broken string. I didn't do this.
No, I know. I think my brother did.
It was
I
like
think.
this.
My brother said he.
Actually,
found
I'm going
it.
to take it off so it doesn't
Yeah.
damage
that's
anything
fine.
else.
Right. But this is amazing to know that it was really a.
And
good
that's the
quality.
original case.
It is. It's in good shape too.
Oh, it's beautiful shape. This top is spruce, and sometimes these will crack, but this doesn't have any cracks, and the pickguard hasn't deteriorated at all, which is really unusual. Because the celluloid of that era is fairly unstable and highly flammable.
That's why I think my uncle didn't play it much at all.
So yeah, they really lucked out with preservation of this instrument. It's just got a few nicks and dings. Overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd call this an 8.8.
Wow.
Really clean, really nice.
And my brother, who does play musical instruments, owns this now, and I told him I'd
Oh, he
take
does?
it so we could learn about it.
Yeah, the A styles aren't crazy expensive, but they're pretty substantial. I mean, it's roughly around 3,000.
3,000. Wow.
28 to 32, somewhere in that.
Oh, that's good. Well,
range.
this is very nice to get this appraisal.
Sure.
And do you need to fill this out or
I
do
can.
something with that? They said.
I will.
Great.
Great. Thank you so much.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
Oh, it looks like we have another musical instrument over here. You can just jump on in. Let's go over here. Actually, do you mind if we film this for our YouTube live?
Oh, sure.
Great. Do you mind if we film this for YouTube?
No, that's fine.
Perfect. Oh, this is a cool looking thing.
My grandson will love this.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick this on you.
Okay.
Claire, I'm gonna give this to you. Whatever you are set. Take all your time. Just pretend we're not here.
So this was, I can't tell you for sure, it was either my great uncle Emmanuel's or my grandfather's. And
Okay.
they played in a city band in Delmont, South Dakota. And the name of the band was Kaufman.
Okay.
And I inherited from my dad. And I always wondered about it because it was silver plated and then gold plated. I go, it's a king. I was just wondering if there's any value in it. And if there is, and it's worth refurbishing. My grandson plays trumpet
Oh,
now.
fun.
And so I thought a chance for him to, if it's playable, if it's worth restoring, I guess that would be the thing.
So let me catch up with you a little bit. What kind of date are you saying when you say when you go back into your family and talk about who owned it originally and who played it originally?
So if it was my grandfather, this is like before World War I.
Right. Okay.
And my dad, actually after World War II, he played this in college at South Dakota State College in South Dakota.
Would that be Brookings?
Yeah, in Brookings.
Right,
So
right. So is Delmont near Brookings then?
yeah, it's kind of Delmont's in kind of the southeast corner of the state.
Yeah, near Vermilion then?
Yeah, it'd be near Vermilion.
Yeah.
And my brother actually sent me a picture of the Kaufman band.
Oh, what fun.
From like, and I got it here somewhere if I can dig it up.
Yeah.
But it shows my uncle Emmanuel actually holding the cornet, which is kind of cool.
It is cool. Well, the king was a great manufacturer of trumpets.
So here, I'll pull it up for. I can find it here. But I always wondered if the Kaufman was like a high school band or if it was a city band, and my brother didn't know for sure. So if I can. So here's my uncle Emmanuel actually holding the cornet.
Oh, fabulous.
And it's kind of cool. And in the one holding the sousaphone was my grandfather.
Oh, amazing.
And that's who the hat belongs to.
Oh, I love it.
Like if you look at inside, it's Walter Beerwagen was my grandfather's name. So I tried it on. It doesn't fit me
It's
at all.
perfect?
No.
Oh, okay.
But no, like I said, I did a search in Delmont for the name Kaufman, and a gentleman came up that had lived and worked there and passed away like in '74. I kind of wonder if there's any connection with
Right.
that. But it was like more research on that.
So the King firm hired H.N. White, you can see his name on the bell here as well, to design their trumpets and cornets.
Okay.
And it was made in Cleveland, Ohio, which was a big center for brass production, as well as Elkhart, Indiana, were the two big places in the United States.
Okay.
And you can see the quality of the engraving is really fine.
But to me, as younger, when I look at it while I was still at home, I was always intrigued because you could kind of see based on the plating where they had worn off the gold plating, worn off the silver plating. You could see where it actually worn to the brass, so you could see the 3 layers of plating on it, which I always found kind of interesting.
And you can see the serial number right here, 5564.
Can you point that out again?
So you can see the serial number right here, 5564. And then there's another number here on one of the valves, 2593. And you can see the logo there, the lion's head that's engraved. I don't know if and the quality of the engraving across the entire bell is really beautifully done. There were only a few people in the country that could make engraving of this level.
Okay.
In terms of current value, however, it's an outdated instrument.
Yeah, well, I was looking at the valves, pulling out the valves and the way the spring works in it. I was like, it was a little odd.
Right. And so I can, if you've got the time, I can look up the serial numbers and try to place it. But I think in terms of the marketplace, it's going to have a relatively tame kind of value. I would say maybe $200 or $300.
Okay.
But if you can bear with me a minute, I'm going to look up those serial numbers and place a date of manufacture and give you a little more information.
Yeah, if you could, that would.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, we have time for one quick appraisal before we're going to meet Marcia. We have Ken Glosson Books waiting for us. Let's head on over. Hi, thank you so much for waiting. So we have time for a quick appraisal, just a few minutes. And we are going to go head over to meet Marcia.
All right. You brought in Legends of the Bleeding Heart.
Yes.
What do you want to know about it?
Well, I just found the book, and my sister-in-law passed away, and there were a bunch of photos and books, and I pulled that out, and it said 1907 in there. I know nothing about it.
Well, and there were a couple of
old pictures in there.
A couple of old pictures who you have no idea who they are.
No, I do
Guess
not.
what? I don't either. But Legend of the Bleeding Heart, this was sort of a light romantic story, and I guess to have some Victorian women. But what I liked about it, the story itself is not particularly valuable. The book is not terribly valuable. What I love about this is the cover. I mean, you have all the hearts, they're bleeding. The cover is in almost perfect shape.
Yes.
And people are collecting this type of cover because they're not terribly high priced. Some are, but not all of them. I even know a person who has about 400 of these books in their bathroom on shelves. And so the value of this is in the beautiful, beautiful cover. And if you started collecting these, you can find them everywhere. They're budgetable. This is probably about $25 to $50.
Do you think that there's more exactly like that, or a different version?
When they first came out, they didn't just print one. They printed a lot. My guess, though, is if you went to look for another one of these in this type of condition, it would be really, really, really hard to find.
Okay.
But if you wanted other books of the same period, the same idea, Bleeding Hearts, romance, those you could go and collect. In every yard sale, book sale that you ever went to, you'd find them.
Oh,
and that's what I love about this, is it's not high priced, but it can be a really, really fun collection.
Well, thank you. I know all about it now. Thank you.
And then sometimes you even read them. Occasionally.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ken. How are you? Are you having a good day?
I just did an appraisal.
Oh, you just did an appraisal?
Yeah.
Would you mind taking a picture?
Oh, I am unable to take a picture. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. All right, so we are going to go meet up with Marsha Bemko. So please write in the comments what you want to ask her. What are your questions? Your burning questions for the executive producer of Antiques Roadshow. So as you can see, the line here is still really long, which is great. Excuse us. So our doors open for appraisals at about 7:30 a.m. Excuse me, and the last tickets are scheduled for 4:30. So it's a very long day. People are coming in all throughout the day. Let's see where we have Marsha set up. So while we're waiting for her, let's see. Do you know where? Oh, around. Okay, we're going this way. So once again, this is the Flynn Bar. Oh, here's Marsha. So yeah, let us know your question. She's right over here. Hi, Marsha. We're gonna do this right here.
We're gonna do this right
How
here.
are you? I'm gonna give this
good.
to you. Or I
Oh
can-
yeah. What do you want to just hold it?
Yeah, I'll just hold it.
We'll just hold it because it's easier.
All right. How are you?
It's good. I'm
Yeah?
having a great day. I'm on the side of a barn.
Yes, this is a historic barn. This is a
Yeah.
historic
Were you just in
landmark.
the barn?
We were just in the barn talking to Nico, Ken Gloss, Claire Givens. Yeah, a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, but now we're outside the barn.
So have you seen any good stuff today?
I've seen a lot of good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah?
You're gonna want to know what?
A little bit. If you could tell us
Okay.
anything.
Well, I just picked this German tin motorized motorcycle with a sidecar.
Very cool.
Very cool. It's probably, well, Michael Bertoya is going to tape it.
Okay.
Okay. And it's going to be, well, one has sold in the past for over 40 grand. It's so much
That's
money
exciting.
for a little toy.
That is a lot.
He's going to put, conservative auction estimate on it of $15,000 to $20,000.
It's pretty good.
Little car. Well, big little car. Because if you have a tin motorcycle with a sidecar, they're usually a little smaller.
Yeah.
So it's big for a little car.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, very cool.
So you're a picker.
I'm a picker, one of four.
One of four. And what do pickers do on roadshow?
Our pickers, we run around all day. Can you tell I'm sweating? Is we are listening to the appraisers pitch us what items they think are best for television. And let's keep in mind, they paid their own way here. They
Mhm.
want a tape at least to have that work out for
Yeah.
them. And they're going to pitch like mad bunnies.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have to say yes to some and no to others.
How many pitches do you hear a day on average?
It feels like a million.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot. The only time I stop is to eat
Yeah.
or do other necessary things.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Do we have any questions for Marsha in the chat? How did you get involved in this?
I've
in
always
Antiques
been
Roadshow?
involved in television. And so when you're involved in television, when your television show is done, suddenly you need a job. That's what happened to me, and I needed a job. And lo and behold, Antiques Roadshow needed somebody. They hired me. Wasn't even sure I'd like it. Here I am, 25 years later, in love with a television show.
Great. Any other questions?
What was the first show you worked on?
Austin, Texas was my very first show in season 5. I started
Season
right after
5.
season 4 was done taping. My first city was Austin, Texas. And Peter Cook was executive producer.
Mhm.
He taught me how to do roadshow. And I realized when he was doing the picks all by himself,
Wow.
and they were waiting a couple hours, I said, hey, I can help do this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I started picking.
Wow.
And then people were waiting for hours
Mm-hmm.
for 2 of us. So
Mhm.
then we added a third picker. That was Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sam and I were doing it then because Peter left.
Sam Farrell, our senior
Farrell,
producer.
yes. Sam Farrell. Now Jill Giles was added to that.
Mm-hmm.
3 pickers isn't enough because people are waiting a couple hours for us. Now there are 4 of us, 4 pickers, and we added Allie Izzo Smith.
Yeah, that's great. 4 pickers to keep the day moving.
Marsha, do you have any advice for people who bring their things to roadshow?
Any advice for people who bring their items to roadshow?
It depends on what you want. Do you want to be on TV? Don't bring something you know everything about. Let us tell you something. But if what all you care about is I just want to know more about this thing, I don't care about being on TV, then you can bring something you know a ton about. If you want to be on TV, make sure we have something to tell you.
And do we appraise? We don't appraise some stuff. What don't we
No,
appraise?
we don't appraise.
No.
You help me with this list. Coins.
Yep, stamps.
Stamps. You can look this
Few
stuff
other
pretty,
things.
pretty easy.
There's several things we don't appraise.
Yeah.
So check our website before you come.
You know, we don't do explosives.
Yep.
Nazi
Any-
memorabilia.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
Is there something you're hoping will surface in the future?
Is there something you hope will surface
That's
in the
really
future?
interesting. You know, I don't go into a place hoping for things particular. I go into a place hoping for a good display of a lot of different things. We're going to learn about the place we are because we're going to see some local items. So for me, when we're in a place, it's like, will we see any farming things here? This is like farm country. I don't think we have, interestingly enough, seen much on the farm note. As a matter of fact, that little motorcycle I just told you about, Michael Bertoya was hoping to see tractors today, little tractors, and he hasn't seen a one, which surprised him.
Oh, it's a bummer.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions for Marsha?
What's your favorite location?
You know,
Favorite
if and if I
location?
had one, I wouldn't tell you, because then all the other locations feel bad.
True.
It's like telling you which of my kids is my favorite. Then
Very
the others
true.
feel bad. I don't have a favorite kid. I do have a favorite location. I'm not telling you.
And do you collect anything yourself?
Are you kidding? The only people who collect are fruitcakes. I don't. Oh, I love all you fruitcakes out there. No, I don't collect. I like nice things, but collectors are passionate, focused people. I am not a passionate, focused collector.
I don't know if many of our staff collect.
I don't know any of our staff collect.
Yeah. Our
Well,
appraisers certainly collect.
Oh, our appraisers certainly collect,
Yes.
and that's why they're a bit nutty. It's a bit nutty collecting.
Yeah.
Because you're like focused on it. I mean, one of our appraisers collects bubblegum wrappers as well as the other stuff. So
That's amazing.
person has to care.
I hope he doesn't accidentally use one by there goes the value.
Yeah. Don't have a fire in your
Yeah,
house either.
exactly. That's all the questions. All right. Well, thank you so much, Marsha, for
Thanks,
taking
Sid.
time out of your day.
Thank you for having me on your YouTube live.
Yes.
All
So
right.
if you want to watch our last YouTube live of the season, we will be in Baltimore, Maryland next week on June 18th. We'll be again probably around 1:30 Eastern time or local time. Yes, so Eastern time. We'll be on the East Coast finally. So 1:30 p.m. we'll be in Baltimore for another YouTube live. And if you don't already follow us, Antiques Roadshow on YouTube, we're also at Roadshow PBS pretty much everywhere, all across social media. But thank you guys for sticking with us, and we'll see you next week. Bye.